Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, all my shady folks out there, thank y'all very much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Um, for all the new subscribers out there, and it does seem like there are quite a few of you here lately. Thank you guys for signing up. Appreciate it. If you just kind of stumbled in, if you're watching on the replay, hey, you can do all those YouTubey things. Go up top, click on that subscribe button, ring that little bell, go down, leave a comment, whatever makes you feel good. Um, I'm glad to see everybody. I'm glad y'all are here. I know Joni's here, Papa's Farm is here, Outlaw Farm is here. D, how you doing? Katrinka, how are you? I know I'm missing some people. I saw Joni Frios a while ago. Is Michael G or Ron in the house? Haven't seen those guys yet. Anyway, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Um, I have to. Hey, Colleen, how you doing? Unfortunately, I have to start the live stream out with a little bit of bad news, guys. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read from the headline here. Um, bear with me. This is a little tough on me. Okay. Man found dead along I-25 after physical altercation Wednesday has been identified. October the 11th, 2023, Fountain, Colorado, from KRDO. The name of the victim in a death investigation along I-25 was released Friday. On October the 11th, the El Paso County Communications Center received reports of a physical altercation between two people on the northbound side of I-25 at mile marker 133. This was north of the Mesa Ridge Parkway / Highway 16 exit and south of the South Academy Boulevard exit. According to the Fountain Police, law enforcement and medical personnel responded to the scene and found a man lying on the side of the interstate who wasn't conscious or breathing. The FPD said that life-saving measures were performed, but the man ultimately died. On October the 12th, the El Paso County coroner identified the man as 57-year-old Cecil Freeman of Pueblo West. Investigators have yet to release his cause of death and have yet to identify a suspect. For those of you who do not know, Cecil was, I knew Cecil personally. He was a lieutenant in the Bureau. He was also a huge supporter of the channel. He was a good guy, salt of the earth kind of guy, family guy. He had served in the United States Navy. He'd been stationed in Pearl Harbor on the USS Missouri. He retired from the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I think he got 23 years in. Just a good, solid guy, and he will be missed. I think if you guys remember, here about a year ago, I did a video on how society was collapsing right around us, right in front of our faces. And I had put some links on that video to different just dumb, idiotic, senseless acts of violence that people had committed. When you were on, excuse me, this was one of those random, senseless acts of violence. Let me tell you guys something about this part of I-25 here in Colorado, and please excuse the dogs. They're upstairs. They're out. They're barking at whatever moves on the street. But this stretch of I-25 that this incident happened at is a very, very busy part of the interstate. If I remember right, this happened around 3:20, 3:30 in the afternoon. So there was lots of traffic, and there is some heavy road construction going on in this area too. So there was really, from what I could gather, just seeing the film clips and from what I've seen being going through there, there's little or no place to pull over. They've got those concrete barriers lining the sides of the highway. So as to what happened, I don't know. As to how it started, I don't know. I know how it ended. It ended with a real good guy and a real good friend and a real good supporter of this channel passing away. I saw one report on the internet. I only saw one report that he'd been shot. Now, at 3:30 in the afternoon along this part of the interstate, there's just multiple huge amounts of traffic. And the report did say that the police had got reports in plural that something was going on. But what bothers me, what hurts my heart, is that nobody stopped. Nobody pulled over to see what was going on. Nothing. People just kept on going. They didn't want to get involved. They didn't want to help. Um, so this is the state of our society right now. Um, everybody is all about themselves. Nobody wants to get involved in anything. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes not getting involved in something is a wise decision. But I just pray right now for Cecil's family, the people that he left behind, his wife of, I think, 13 years. And more than that, I pray for justice in this, because according to what I've read, they have no leads, they have no suspect, and they're not even actually putting out the cause of death. So like I said, I didn't want to start the live out with something like that, but I thought you guys should know he's only been in live chat maybe one time. And he was a quiet guy anyway, but he would make some comments here and there on Facebook on the page, which leads me into the next thing. I was kind of paying attention to what was going on in chat earlier, and I believe it was Katrinka had said something about, well, Shady needs to get some moderators. I have run this channel for what, a year and a half now with no moderators. I haven't seen the need in moderators. I kind of talked about it once before. And Michael G, if you are in there, you're up to there, Scooter. You're going to get that little wrench on your name too before this is over with. However, this kind of leads into what I'm talking about on the live stream tonight. Sorry, I'm not sorry. If you guys remember, last Thursday I put out a video, and I had said that a friend of mine that was ex-military had contacted me and had some information on Hamas, and that one of the original founders of Hamas had declared Friday to be, excuse me, guys, one of the original founders of Hamas had declared Friday to be a global day of jihad. Now, somehow or another, the mainstream media has taken a global day of jihad and turned it into, I think they were calling it a national day of rage. That seems like that's a pretty darn popular little catchphrase that the media has these days to give people an excuse to go out in the streets and do stupid shit. But in case there's somebody that's watching the replay, because looking at all the people that I see in chat, I'm fairly sure that you guys know jihad literally means holy war. So he sent me a report on that, and I posted it over on the community section of the channel. And I'm sure that some of you, if not all of you, went over there and read it. If you didn't, go over and read it, give it a thumbs up. Um, but anyway, I posted it over there, and I went ahead and I did the video, and I simply told people, we don't know what's going to happen. Keep your heads on a swivel, stay alert. You know, keep your eyes open. Be aware of what's going on around you. Stay out of big cities if you had to, if you possibly could. I just laid out basic safety tips for everybody. And fortunately, there has not been any kind of kickback on YouTube, but on a couple of other social platforms, I have gotten a couple of little snide comments. Um, mainly about, well, all of you preppers and all of you guys running YouTube channels that claim to be preppers, all you're doing is blah, blah, blah. And you just want to get points and you just want to get clicks and you just want to get this and that and the other and all that stuff. And anybody out there that knows me knows that Shady ain't that guy. I don't do that. So I did appoint some moderators. Michael G, I'm going to get you hooked up here sooner or later, but y'all know me. If I see something, if I hear something, if I think something is out of whack, and I think that it might put any one of you out there in any kind of danger, then I'm going to open up my mouth and I'm going to say something. I don't apologize for that. I will not apologize for that. I am not sorry. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody criticizes me for it. You guys are my extended family, and I will look after my extended family to the best of my ability. And if I come up here and if I say something and it don't pan out, I don't feel bad about it, okay? Because I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's butt, okay? I'm not going to say anything to you guys that I wouldn't say in public to somebody, and I'm going to tell you guys first that I wouldn't say anything in public. I'm on YouTube. I'm talking to the world here if they decide to tune in. But I'm not going to apologize for it. But you're going to get these haters out there. You're going to get these guys out there. You're going to get these people out there that they got nothing better to do. I mean, they're sitting in the same. They're 36 years old. They're sitting in the same damn bedroom that they slept in all their life because they're still living with their mama or their daddy or whatever. And they got nothing better to do than cruise YouTube, find people like you and find people like me and just sit there and troll us. So troll away there, big boy. I don't really care. You can do what you want to do. But anyway, I mean, I'm going to be straight up truthful with you. I'm happy I was wrong. Okay. Read my lips. I was wrong and I'm happy. We had no sleeper cells do anything terrible. We had no protests that went completely out of control. I mean, there was a few that there were some problems with, but we had no protests that went completely out of control and they started burning down buildings and robbing stores and twerking in the streets and all that crap. None of that happened. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that each and every one of you are safe. I'm happy about that. I am glad I was wrong. But was I wrong? Okay. Israel has amassed, at the last I heard, 360,000 troops on the border of Gaza. Everybody that I have talked to, everybody that I have heard, everybody that seems to know something about this say that if and when Israel crosses that border with ground troops and starts an assault on Gaza, that's when the poop is going to hit the fan. They have not been able to do that for the past couple of days because the weather has been so bad they couldn't get their drones and their aircraft in there to do any kind of decent reconnaissance. So they're kind of waiting for that to happen, see what goes on with that. Now, in the meantime, you've got all these you got all these people like AOC and what the hell's her name? Jabib, what's her name? Somebody give me her name in chat. Anyway, the squad and a bunch of dorks. CNN and MSNBC are they once they started it, they just it was like a drug to them. They couldn't stop. They started doing all this sympathy for Gaza. Okay. Well, Israel's going in and they're doing this and they're doing that and blah blah blah, and all these things that we heard about the Hamas is beheading babies and burning babies was all turned out to be false and yada yada yada. I don't want to hear it, honestly. And I know there are two sides to every story, but I don't even want to hear it. Okay, you're the ones that decided to launch like 7,000 missiles into Israel. Just let's do this. You're the ones that decided to take freaking lawnmower motors and use them to power paragliders and go into Israeli military installations, into raves, and kill people. You're the ones that did that. Okay, dude, second in command, sir, mister, you don't have to declare a jihad. You already did it. Okay, you declared war when you did that stuff. Israel has every right in this world to stand up, defend themselves. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for taking their side in this. I'm not. Okay, not going to do it. However, like I said, when Israel makes that move and they cross that border and they send ground troops in, there's boots on the ground in Israel. When they send those troops in, that's when we can start looking for things to happen. I think. Okay, maybe not, but we've got what is it, two carrier fleets that are within 40 miles. They're out in international water right now just to make sure that nobody else decides to jump into this with Palestine and Iran, Lebanon. They're all just sitting there, just drooling, just waiting. Russia's standing behind Iran, and they're drooling and they're waiting. So yeah, I'm not going to apologize for anything that I have said. I'm not going to apologize for anything that I will say about it. But anyway, thank you, Katrinka, for mentioning the moderator thing. So now, hey, Shady Zone has moderators. Woo, I feel like a big boy. Anyway, guys, I don't know what you have heard today about it. I've been kind of in and out. I've been doing stuff around the house. I really haven't watched a whole lot except for the talking heads on TV saying the same stuff that they've been saying ever since it started. So I guess it's like I said on the last video. This is one of those things where we wait and we watch day to day, sometimes hour to hour, sometimes minute to minute, just to see what happens. Now, I I I had considered Friday or Saturday or both calling off, not going to work. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let these people scare me into not living life. And that's something that we all need to take into account too. Don't let what's going on halfway across the world make you stop living life. Okay. There's a difference between taking precautions. There's a difference between being prepared. There's a difference between being ready and being afraid. Okay. Don't be afraid. That is what terrorists want. That's where we get the word terrorism. They inspire terror in people. So no, I'm not going to let this interfere with my life. I'm not going to let it stop my life. Okay. And as far as any of the other stuff goes, no, I'm not going to, like I said already several times, I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to be sorry for it. Um, I just hope you guys do the same thing. You know, don't let this keep you inside. Don't let this keep you huddled up in some room somewhere, scared to death to go out because The Hamas is not in Jeeps coming down your street right now. Okay. Um, Let me see there. That's a long one that I can't even read. On Bears Intel this morning, he said a guy went into a store with a Muslim owner, asked him for his thoughts on Israel and the day of jihad. The guy said, "You don't want to know how many sleeper cells." Well, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, and I've said it all along. And it's not just Hamas. You can darn well bet there are Chinese sleeper cells in this country. We don't know what has poured across that damn border in the past 3 years. We have no clue. There's 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 no way of accounting for it. We don't know what's come across the border. We don't know what's here. And I've done a video on a secret Chinese bio lab in California. I did a video on just how many Chinese nationals came across the southern border. But people, they don't want to hear it. Everybody, or most people, the zombies out there, they go about their life. They don't worry about anything like that. They're safe. Nothing like this has happened to them yet. You guys have to remember that 9/11 was 22 years ago. There are people out there right now, a lot of people out there right now that weren't even alive on 9/11. There's even more of them that were so young they don't really remember 9/11. These people do not know what it's like to have an act of terrorism happen in this country to us. They don't remember it. And they have this false sense of security that they're walking around with. As long as they've got their video games, their pumpkin spice lattes, and their cell phones, they're happy as clams. Um, Outlaw Farms, I'm more worried about my evil neighbors right now. Yeah, I remember seeing something. Didn't you do a video on your evil neighbors? They were doing something right at the edge of your property, and you filmed them while they were doing it, and they hid for a minute or something like that. But anyway, Outlaw Farms is right. There are more things. There are more important things in this world right now to worry about than go around being scared all the time that something's going to happen. And I'm not saying something is not going to happen. That's why we prepare. That's why we're aware. That's why we keep ourselves. I hate to say the whole thing over and over again. Heads on a swivel. We always pay attention. We listen to what's going on. Wonder. I'm not a fortune reader. I can just take what I see and read it. I really hope that my screen's not going on kind of like so. If I see it, I'm just gonna stop talking for a minute. There, blacking out, y'all. Please let me know 5x5. Then please let me know because I dislike StreamYard a lot. And it's worked pretty good on the phone somewhere. And there goes the feed on fish heads again. Thanks, Michael. Um, so yeah, and um, it's it. The thing about it is while all this was going on with with Israel and Palestine and all that, while that was going on, the thing with Cecil was going on at the same time. So I've had a lot on my plate here over the past few days and over the weekend, and I just the whole entire weekend I just had this just weird, strange, off feeling. We had company, but that wasn't it. I just had this strange feeling all weekend. And a lot of people are saying, "Well, you're dealing with grief." Well, maybe I am, but there's something you guys need to understand. Um, we're gonna get into the shady psychology of shady here for a minute. I am used to death. Okay, as morbid as this is going to sound, I am used to death. I have walked side by side with death since I was 8 years old when my mom got murdered. My stepfather took a 12 gauge shotgun and murdered my mom, shot her at point blank range with a 12 gauge. Um, all through my life, I have dealt with people around me passing. Um, I retired from the prison. 6 months later, my best friend passed away. Um, he had diabetes and he contracted hepatitis in the prison, and the two did not mix together, and he left this world in total agony, not knowing anybody around. Um, about 6 months after that, my wife, for 18 years, passed away of cancer. I sat on the side of her bed holding her hand when she left this world. A few years after that, a psychotic, drug dealing ex boyfriend or boyfriend of my daughter's tried to kill her. She had to be taken by helicopter to another hospital. Um, Not too long after that, my oldest bonus daughter passed away just suddenly in the middle of the night, heart failure. I deal with death, and I deal with death all right. Some people don't even understand how come I can look so emotionless when somebody passes away, and it's simply because I'm used to it. But with the thing that happened with Cecil on the side of a busy highway and nobody stopping to help, that kind of got to me a little bit. Um, yeah, Katrina, if you look at it that way, it is absolutely nuts. But it's like I said, I have dealt with it for so long that I'm not going to say it doesn't bother me. I just deal with it differently than some people do. And working the job that I worked for 23 years, I saw death a lot. It wasn't anything to me really to see death. There's people out there that are veterans that have saw active duty. You same way in a lot of ways. There's a way that I don't know if it's a wall that you build. I don't know what it is, but we deal with it differently than normal people do. So there's that. And so it could have been, a combination of all that together. Um, it could have been a combination of all that together. Thank you, D. It could have been a combination of all that together. I don't know. It's just this past weekend, I just had the strangest damn feeling that I've had before in my life. And having a total eclipse of the sun, well, a mostly total eclipse of the sun Saturday, that didn't really that didn't really help a whole lot. It just kind of made it creepier. Um, there is a verse in the Bible that says things about there's going to be signs and wonders in the sky before the end times, and I think maybe Kelly Rambo and Bama Jin could be more of a resource on that or not. But I know that last month we had like three planets that aligned themselves within the ring of fire. And then this month there was another alignment. And then there was the solar eclipse. So, is it? I don't know. I'm not going to doubt it. Keep this around my neck because I don't doubt it. Um, but yeah, it's been quite a damn weekend for me. Um, Pilgrim, I 100% agree with you, sir. It is all God's plan. Um, I have told people this. What's going on right now today is not anything new. People have been talking about it. People wrote about it over 2,000 years ago. It's just kind of a shocking, amazing, scary thing that it seems like it's unfolding in our lifetimes, right in front of our faces. And it's like I always tell people, I don't want to wax all biblical on you or anything like that. I don't want to beat your head with a Bible. I think there are some people out there that need to be hit over the head with something these days, but it's not going to be me with a Bible. Yes, ma'am, the world is messed up right now, and it just seems like it's getting worse every day. The thing about it is, Pilgrim, is it's kind of like you said a while ago. This is all God's plan, you know. And when you accept the fact that this is all God's plan, then it does seem to make it a little bit easier to deal with, a little bit better. But you know, it's like I said in a video a while back. A lot of you know that for a long time I was a pagan, and I woke up one morning and I was watching the news, and I literally saw the Book of Revelations being played out on the news in front of my face, and so yeah, I had a change of heart real quick and decided, hey, you know what? All that stuff they taught me in Sunday school sure seems like that was true. So, if I'm going to do this, I want to be on the winning team when it's all said and done. So there was that. Um, his ways are so above our waves, we can't understand. Yeah. Um, the thing about it is, Katrinka, it's like we said, you just got to have a little bit of faith in him, a little bit of faith in, he's going to see us through one way or another. And um, Kelly Rambo and Jen all had a real good live the other day about the end times and stuff. And I commented on their page. I said, I enjoyed the stream. There's a lot of things about the timeline that, I don't think I agree with you about. But it was still a good video. Um, I was raised as a Christian in a southern Baptist church, y'all. Then later on, yeah, this is a good one. I went into the Assemblies of God, and if you guys aren't Assemblies of God, don't know anything about Assemblies of God, those are the people that lay hands on you and heal you and speak in tongues and exorcise demons and all that stuff. So, yeah, yeah, I did all that. I was also taking courses, taking correspondence courses to be a minister for a while. So, yeah, I believe that it's all in God's hands, and we just got to have faith sometimes and just ride it out. But with all that said and done, getting back to the original thing, it's me. People can say what they want to about me. They can make their little comments, and I really don't care. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to stop. It's the reason that Shady went back to being Shady. You know, um, you don't influence me. You don't live my life. You don't tell me what to do. So there's that. Anyway, um, gee, Michael, I would have never guessed. uh, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. But we can't. You can't let. And I said this on the video when I was talking about all the trolls and all the troublemakers and stuff that come creeping up into onto your channel, come creeping into your live streams, and they say their little creepy things and they creep back out. That's all they do. And you know what, Scooter? You don't bother me. I could really care less. If you don't let it get under your skin, then it just don't matter. But now, you wrench people out there. If you see one, lock and load, pull the trigger, get them out, or let them stay. I honestly don't care. Y'all just don't go crazy. Like I said, while I go and start kicking everybody out. Um, Katrinka, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I hope it is helpful. I don't really understand how it would be, except to just don't be afraid, live your life, and don't be apologetic for the things that you believe in. I think that is the core thing, the core message of what I'm talking about right now. Live your life, believe your beliefs. Don't let anybody shake you from that. You know, Words hurt. No, they really don't. No, they don't. Words are words. An AR-15 would hurt. A samurai sword would hurt. Words. I mean, when you work in a prison, trust me, and I think Michael G can probably attest to this. if you work in a prison or a county jail or anything like that, Scooter, you've been called everything that you can possibly be called. I've been called things that you people have probably never even heard of. Yeah, I'm just saying. Um, it gets to a point to where your skin gets like iron or leather, and it just don't bother you. You know, I got a job to do. I'm going to do it. It's like, I got a life to live. I'm going to live it. I got opinions, and I got a First Amendment right to speak my opinion. You got a First Amendment right to disagree with me. You also have the courtesy that if you disagree with me, just click the hell off my channel and go somewhere else. You know. Um, well, Michael G, I don't know how much of that is sarcasm or how much of it is true, but in a lot of ways, you're absolutely right. A lot of things that go on in this world could be just totally done away with if people would just take a minute, take a breath, try to see the other one's point of view, and then say, "Okay, dude, you want to believe that, you believe that. I'm going to believe the way I want to. See you later." And I've went into all this stuff before. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, trans, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I honestly don't give a crap. I don't care. To me, it's what's in your heart and what kind of person you are. That's what matters to me. Now, do I want you 24/7 throwing your lifestyle, throwing your beliefs into my face and trying to tie me down and make me accept you? Yeah, no. That's not going to happen. I will accept you for what you are, as a person, not what color your skin is, not what religion you are, not who you think is attractive. None of that matters to me. And honestly, it shouldn't really be that big of a deal to you. Just live your damn life. You know, what is that saying? Live and let live. Yeah. Um, so yeah, and I'm sorry, I was trying to look at the chat and see what was going on because I kind of got rolling. Honestly, that's really all I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to pass on the information about Cecil, and I wanted to get that thing with the haters out of my system. And the one thing that you guys can depend on when you come to this channel, you may think that I'm a goofy old redneck from Mississippi, which I got no problem with you thinking I'm a goofy old redneck from Mississippi because I am kind of goofy sometimes. I'm 61, so I am kind of getting old, and I am from Mississippi. And to me, redneck is a badge of honor. So, you know, if that's what you think, that's what you think. If it ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea. But if it's not, move on, Scooter. Just find your cup of tea out there somewhere. You know, throw some Haagen Dazs in with it. Just have a good time, live your life. Uh, Good night, Pilgrim. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. You stay safe and stay blessed, and I'll see you next time. Um, Jim Shady, I've been on the other side. Uh, I've seen people die in prison at the hands of inmates and guards, but I know there were good guards there as well. Well, I'm going to say something that not very many correctional officers will say, but there are also good inmates in prison. There are guys in prison that I've seen some, and I've looked at these kids and wondered what the hell are you doing here. And I'll tell you something else. I've seen people in prison for DUIs. I'm not kidding you. I've seen people doing sentences in a medium security prison for DUIs. Why? Because they're Native American living on a reservation, and it's federal law on a reservation. And if you break the law, you go to a federal prison. So yeah, I've seen the whole spectrum of humanity, to be totally honest with you. Um, Redneck takes one to know one. Okay. Yeehaw. That's why I always joke with John about squirrel. I love squirrel. I could eat squirrel at least once or twice a week. I used to when I was a kid. Um, Squirrel was not, it was a good possibility over at my aunt and uncle's when we went there. They lived out in the country. It was a good possibility we were going to have squirrel that afternoon for Sunday dinner because that's probably what me and my grandpa and my uncle had shot that morning. Katrinka, you are my moderator. You may not leave. I'm just kidding. You have a good night, dear. Um, I am going to cut this off here pretty quick anyway. Um, Briar Patch, it's still kind of early for me also because I'm off on Mondays and Tuesdays, so this is like my Saturday. This is why I try to do the videos on Mondays or Tuesdays, and I hate to step on Mad Outdoorsman's toes because I know he usually does his broadcast on Monday nights. But what's he calling himself now? Northern Redneck? There's another one right there. But he usually does his broadcast on Monday nights, and I've tried not to step on it. But the way I look at it, we're both doing live streams, and if somebody wants to come back and watch the replay of mine, you ain't hurting my feelings watching the replay. I love, I honestly love coming in here and talking with y'all. I do. Um, John has said this before over on Preparation, and it is a true statement. Live streams don't get near as many views as a regular video. Um, they say that that shorts don't get as many views as a regular video, but I've had some pretty good luck with shorts here lately. So squirrel with gravy and buttermilk biscuits. Now you take yourself some green onions, some slices of cheddar cheese, and buttermilk biscuits are fine, but good old white cornbread, yeah, we're talking good meal, and some black eyed peas. We're talking a good meal right there. Um, my pig loved wet squirrels. Okay, why didn't your pig like dry ones? Uh, but no, I do enjoy coming in here. I enjoy having these lives with you guys every once in a while. I have cut back on the lives a little bit. Um, who was it? Somebody was saying in chat before the live started about the thumbnails were getting better and they couldn't do thumbnails. Um, I want to say it was Katrinka. Was it you? Um, anyway, whichever one of you guys it was, there is an app out there and it's called YouTube Thumbnail Maker or something like that. It is awesome. You can take a picture on your thumb. You can make a thumbnail out of it. The only problem is sometimes you got to play with it for a while to get it to actually fit in the window that YouTube gives you for your thumbnails. But this is why my thumbnails have come up as far as they have as I've been using that app. So there's a little trick for you. Um, hey Ron, how you doing? But there's a little trick for you. Um, in case you are struggling with thumbnails. You pick yourself out a cool picture, non-copyrighted, of course, and you use this app, and you can do all kinds of things with it. It's even got templates on it to make it even easier. I usually make mine from scratch, but it will help you out a lot if you need it to. Um, what's your channel? Okay. Uh, I see Mr. Ron is here with us. You a little late, Ron. Thanks for coming in, though. Appreciate it. Um, are we still talking about squirrel over there? We got some fresh frozen peas at the farmer's market last week. They are so good. I wish we had farmers markets around here the way we had down when I was living down south of here. There was usually a farmers market every weekend during this time of year, but up here we got a flea market and they do sell some vegetables up there, but it's only during the summertime. So Briar Patch, don't feel bad. I'm a little slow too. All right, guys. Let me see. We've been going here for a little while. So anyway, I just wanted to come on, just kind of touch base with you guys. Um, I want to thank all of y'all, especially all you new subscribers, which all I see in here right now is my shady folks. Honestly, I see the usual suspects in here. Um, so I want to thank you guys for everything that you do, for sharing the videos, for giving me thumbs up, thumbs down. Comments have been fantastic here lately, uh, from y'all. And that's what makes this for me. I mean, you guys are what keeps me going on this, what makes me do this, what gives me the drive to do this. Um, so as long as I got y'all out there, I'm going to keep doing this. That's kind of what I was saying a while ago. Hold on a second. I got put in Facebook jail. Let me slide back down. I got put in Facebook jail for a friend's video. I had squirrels getting into my animals' feed, had a tub they ended up drowned in. Okay, I don't know why that would get you put in Facebook jail. And trust me, I've been in there several times. By the way, in case you guys haven't noticed, the Shady Zone Facebook page, the group, yeah, we're shadow banned. I'll put something on there and there's like it's like crickets, nothing. And before before the little run in that we talked about here a month or so ago, with YouTube taking away views on one of my videos, for that, and before I said something about it on Facebook, and before I said something about Facebook on here, things were fine. Nothing was wrong. Everything was beautiful. Shady was compliant. Oh, but let Shady speak out for just one thing. Just one thing. Let Shady speak out about it. And all of a sudden, none of your stuff's getting out, Scooter. You know, and that's okay too, because you guys will spread the news. And there was another video, I can't remember, it was one of the last ones. They only did it twice, but they took away 2 views off that video. So, you know, it is what we do, it is what we face every single time any one of us puts a video out there, except for Katrinka. Okay. Nobody can argue with Katrinka's videos. If you go to one of Katrinka's videos and you don't smile or you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. I suggest if you are not subscribed to Katrinka LOL's channel, to go over there and subscribe to it. It is very, very good. Sometimes it is a great break from all the crap that's going on in the world today. All right. Give you I gave you a thumbs up, Katrinka, without pushing a button. Uh, Good deal. I'm glad to see it, Colleen. Thank you. I'll thank you for Katrinka. Thank you for subscribing to Katrinka's channel. How many other creators do you see do that, y'all? Really? I mean, some of the moderators over on Prepper Nation and John himself will, give me a boost every once in a while, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But you get these guys that have got 400,000 subscribers and, well, 400 or 4 million subscribers, and their videos get 400,000 views. And did they say anything? Did they give anybody else's channel a perk? Nope, not them. Nope, they're too busy making money for their folks that they're advertising for. And I guess there was one here not too long ago that some of the Beaverines kind of had a bad taste in their mouth over this guy. I went over to his channel, looked at his video, and you guys all gonna know who I'm talking about because we all played that in the arcade when we were younger, if you're at a certain age. But and you'll know what I'm saying when I say that. You'll know what I'm talking about. I went over to his page and I looked at his video and I tried to be impressed, but I just couldn't be impressed. I mean, this dude looked like Richie Cunningham with a freaking beard, and he's putting down, new creators and little channels and stuff like that. It's like I said, dude, be you. But, why you got to come bothering somebody else? Um, I got a laugh out of D, it looks like. Okay, I can change like that. I didn't know I could. Um, Papa's Farm, what you say in the in chat is on you. I'm just not going to say the name because I don't, you know, I don't need to start no crap with the dude because he means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing to me. He has nothing to do with my channel. He has nothing to do with my people. He has nothing to do with me. I don't care what him or anybody else say on their channel. Uh, uh, there has to be a twist. Uh, anyway, guys, I want y'all to take care. I want y'all to still stay alert. Okay, this ain't over. This is not over with Hamas, not by a long shot. Okay, the pieces of the puzzle just didn't fall together the way the guy that was calling for a day of global jihad wanted it to this weekend. Okay. When Israel goes in, and I almost said when we go in, but when Israel goes into Gaza, that's when the fireworks are going to start happening. And I'm telling you something right now. This idiot that we have, President Sponge Brain Poopy Pants, that we have, that is our commander in chief, had better make some solid decisions. He better stick to what the hell he says he's going to do. And he better be tough on these son of a bitches because if he doesn't, we don't got a chance. Okay. And the whole damn world, you'd think after the way we left out of Afghanistan, most of the world already looks at us that way anyway. You can't trust him. If he screws this up, as far as a military power, as far as, us being the strongest military in the world and, the sheriff of the world and Billy Bob Badass, we're done. It's only going to take this because this is going to, if you say something, do it. That's all I'm going to say. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. All right. If you, I mean, everybody should live that way. If you're the president of the freaking United States of America, then you should at least have the balls that if you can remember what you said in the first damn place, that you should stick with it. Okay? Just my opinion. And that was for entertainment purposes, Google. Outlaw Farms, God bless you too. And everybody else, y'all take care. God bless. I'll see y'all next time. And until then, I want y'all all to stay shady.